suicidally depressing debt. Don't look at the Americans who are living in less than livable conditions, i.e. out of their cars, out of tents. If you don't look at all those factors, then yeah, they hate us because they ain't us, and we're the freest place that ever freed them to freedom fry. If you pay attention to what's going on in our country, though, it's like, oh. So we're just kind of garbage then, huh? And I don't know what'll fix it. I know what'd make us feel better. We need another Nicolas Cage's National Treasure. Disney, get on that shit. Make us feel all patriotic and good about ourselves while we watch an, at the time, new B-list star rise up. But unless you can put some of that American Hollywood magic on something, we've got a fascist in charge who thinks that he can just lie, and he's got a sycophantic base that will let him just lie. Give you an example. Ask the Trump supporters how they feel about them eggs. If they're honest, you'll get a shut the fuck up, or a well, he ain't been in there that long. If they're one of his sycophants, you'll get, well, these are the lowest egg prices we've seen in years. Just ignore what the egg prices were last year. He said they were great, so clearly they're great because he knows the thing. Honestly, if you got a Trump supporter in your life, just write them off. They're gone. They're gone. That brain became a paperweight a long time ago. And like I said, at this point, I think we should keep that same level of anger towards the Republicans because they're what brought us this. But at the same time, let's not pretend like Trump is an average Republican, please, because he's not. I mean, let's be clear, they're cowardly fuckers regardless, and I will tell you, make sure your Republicans know that they are cowardly little bitches anytime they try to pull that. Well, for example, I've got a cousin, a real gun-toting American cousin. Pot-bellied as a pig, but he thinks he's the sexiest thing that nature's ever given man. Dumb as a box of hair about some things, but because he can make weapons-grade fucking napalm, he thinks he's a goddamned genius. And most importantly, because to me he embodies America, he's also, you know, I'm gonna be the military, I'm gonna be in the military, I'm gonna be in the military. Hey Evan, here's a military recruiter. Shuts the fuck up immediately. It's like, what's wrong, buddy? Thought you was gonna be in the military. Well, I wanna pick my spot. Honey, that's not the way the military works. You get your pick if you're just that fucking good. If you go in there and you eat that lunch, then you get your top pick. But honey, you can't do more than 60 push-ups. You can't do a pull-up. I mean, you can do 3 if you try real hard and play a lot of loud, obnoxious music to motivate yourself. But, and again, let me be clear, I can't do but maybe 10 on my best day. But I'm also not the one saying, I'm gonna be Solid Snake, I'm gonna be Solid Snake, I'm gonna be Big Boss. I'm just a fucking fry cook doing his best to make it, you know? But yeah, he's got, last I checked, last I talked to him, he put his dog down because the dog got hit by a car and he couldn't afford the vet bill. He does, however, own 2 shotguns, Dad's old service revolver, a 9mm, a .45 caliber, and an AR-15. And when I pointed out that, well, Evan, that's a lot of fucking firepower, to which he just masturbates on the whole, I got guns. But outside of that, he doesn't really do anything with them. It's like, what the fuck, bud? Right now we got fascists running rampant. We've got, where are all of your militias? All your never-agains? Where are all your badasses? Oh wait, they're hiding and hoping that the administration doesn't turn on them to where they might actually have to be badasses. Cool, as long as we're all on the same page at least. Because let's be clear, there's nothing wrong in not wanting to go die for a hopeless cause. That doesn't make you weak, in fact that makes you smart. But don't pretend, that's all I'm saying. Every single one of these motherfuckers, you give them a gun and suddenly, I'm a goddamn badass. And it's like, no, honey, you've got a tool. Having a gun doesn't make you a badass any more than having a hammer makes you a builder. Badassery comes from what you do. Building comes from what you do. But I'm hating on him because I'm frustrated with him at the moment. I hate it when someone's given all the opportunities in the goddamn world and instead decides to just become a lazy lump of nothing. It's very disappointing. But then again, look at who he hero worships and you'll see why he became a lazy lump of nothing. His dad, the local pedophile / rapist / meth dealer, who he thinks is the greatest thing that ever sliced a bread because, you know, he gave up meth, supposedly. He got married, supposedly. And his magical sky daddy forgave him for all the horrible things he's done. All the kids he tried to make passes at because, well, they get older and I'll just stay the same. Hey, hey, hey. Sorry, got that backwards. The Woody Harrelson quote. Why you hang out at the high school? Well, because I get older and all them high school girls just stay the same. Yeah, he took that shit to heart. I mean, I distinctly remember this 30-something-year-old man, almost 40-something-year-old man, and I had to go be the DD at the party, give him a ride home, and he's trying to hit on my 17-year-old car mate and my ex-wife at the time's friend. My ex-wife at the time was also 18, and we weren't married yet. But yeah, he's a piece of shit is what I'm saying, and honestly, my big bitch about Christendom is just that. It's dumb. It's, oh, well, he might have been a rapist, but now Jesus dick-slapped him, so he's good now. He's all good. He got that Christ dick slapped. No way he could ever do a horrible thing again. Not now that he's been slapped with with the chastised penis of our dear Lord and Savior. No, piece of shit's gonna be a piece of shit. Now, if they take that chance as an actual chance and change their ways, fuck yeah, more power to them. My problem is most people don't. And for a religion that's all about being about protecting them kids, that religion certainly got a lot of pedophiles hidden in it, don't it? Seems like every other priest you meet's diddled a kid, or knows someone that's diddled a kid. It's like, these are your people? These are your champions? I would pick different champions. I mean, give you a good example. I was a proud member of the Church of Satan until that shit came out with the Church of Satan being willing to fucking harbor nonsense like that. I don't know why. I heard they had some very, very controversial anti-trans takes last I heard. I don't want to spread propaganda, and I don't know for sure, so all I'm going to say is they had a slight falling out. They said well, they didn't. I had a slight falling out because they said some cross shit about trans folks and things like that. Or it might have been about the mentally handicapped and neurodivergent folks. I don't know. They said something cross like 5 years ago, and I haven't looked back because they were just my fill-in religion. They were something there to hold for my atheism because, you know, for some reason I can tell you I'm a Satanist and you'll take that above being an atheist. Because we live in a weird and strange world. And we all have to at least believe in some kind of an imaginary friend to keep the religious nutters happy. Like I said, my problem isn't with religion, it's with all the people that pretend like they've got an answer and literally no answer. What does religion say? Not a goddamn thing. Yet every Christian will tell you it has all the answers. And that frustrates the crap out of me, you know? And I can already feel that I'm going to have a few of you in chat. If you're really my friends, don't bother. You're just going to be upsetting about it. The fake Christians, go ahead and get upset, honeyboo. You're not going to win this one over. Not today, Jesus. Not today. the day that no kid starves to death and pedophiles just die of a horrible dick-rotting disease or clit-rotting disease, bet, then I'll give you some time, Jesus. But as long as you're willing to let children be ignored to make pedos happy, I ain't got no water to carry for you. I don't think religions like yours should be able to exist. Well, those are my hot takes for the day. Baby sheep. Well, that's the end of my hot takes and rambling reviews, I guess. Check out Jack Reacher. I like that man. Honestly, my big thing about him and most shows like it, are y'all ever gonna tell us how to get the lazy muscles? Because I never see Jack work out, but I know that actor's gotta do something to maintain that body, right? I mean, they frequently make the joke that, oh, we didn't handcuff him because he was too big for the handcuffs. I want that. I just don't want to live in a gym to get that. And I know I could read his thing in Men's Health, but then, you know, how much of that is real? Because, yeah, according to Men's Health, we can all look like Arnold in 5 easy steps. But it's like, no, that's... Hell, try to eat what Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson eats in a day and you will get violently ill. Partially because of the high amounts of protein and calories he takes in order to mold into those muscles. The other side is just that, muscle building... Oh, boo, fucking hell. I did that to my damn self, though. Biggest part of it is just that muscle building and all that is a very niche market where you have to have the disposable income. Because trust, I tried while Dad was still alive and I had tons of money coming in, because at the time I was just living with him, taking care of his medical stuff and doing all that. Much as I could, at least. I took him to the doctor when he needed to go, at least as long as I could. When I couldn't, I'd schedule them. I've got my phone updating while I try to find background noise. But I tried to get into the bodybuilding. God damn it. I tried to get into the bodybuilding thing. And honestly, I might could have. But we did not make enough on Dad's retirement to take care of me, Evan, Chris, and Dad. And so I'd skip a meal here or there. And so would everybody else where we could to try to make do and try to take care of Dad as best we could. If I hit that photo, was I. But I was still doing like 100, 200 sit-ups a day, 2, 3, 400 push-ups. I was trying to get the muscles to grow, but just I had nothing to put in to make the muscles grow. And I was burning calories like a crazy person, but I was just burning myself out because, again, taking out the tank without anything to put in it, not a good idea. But that's just my personal journey bits there, and honestly, I did what I could, but it wasn't much. I just tried to make Dad's time better, best I could do it. And it did leave a mark. And honestly, I wouldn't change it, I just would have done things differently. For one, I wouldn't have taken a fucking dipshit meth head's word as law. I kept trusting Chris after Mom died because I was just adrift. But it is just as much my fault. I should have known none of what he was saying past the fucking smell test. But you know what they say, if you don't think you can be scammed, well, you're the perfect victim for a scam then. And it's in the past. He's now away scamming churches and women and other things, and that's not my fucking problem anymore. Honestly, Chad, I just watch your back out there is all I'm saying. They say that family will take advantage of you first, and they ain't even kidding there. $60,000 stolen, and at this point, a house lost to the basic cruelty of the system. It's hard to put into TOS-capable words. Biggest thing I got a problem with is in his mind, he's still the hero. He's still the good guy, the good uncle, just trying to watch out for his family. When in fact, he really is just the biggest piece of shit I've ever fucking known. But that's personal family drama shit that I'm sure some of you have turned up for, but most of you just ain't interested in. Honestly, there are times that I think, what if I'm a narcissist? But, I mean, I think I hate myself too much to be a narcissist. Then again, I am on here talking to all 30-something of you. Very happy to have all of you here, by the way. Seriously, thank you for watching my channel. I don't know why you turn up, but I'm very appreciative for it. And I do think you have to have a certain level of thinking you got something to say to get on here and just blather on for hours. But to tell the truth, I don't know if I'm saying anything of any fucking use at all. I just hope I'm giving some of y'all some fun background noise as I build. And typically, as some of y'all will know, these videos I don't normally put a background track to, just because I want to make it as ASMR as possible. Also, I'm typically listening to background noise to make sure I'm not getting snuck up on. Because it's, you know. Oh, can't recook it. Oh, excuse me. But, nah, chat, things will get better. That's the one thing we gotta keep in mind. Or they won't. But everything will change. And with change comes the possibility of things getting better. And as long as you've got hope, there's still a reason to fight. So keep fighting. I mean, oh, what'd I do? Why'd I do that? I mean, a part of me remembers the words of Jimmy Snow and the whole, well, who the fuck are you to think you deserve it so easy? I mean, do you know how many people have fought for civil rights? I mean, fought like hell, been imprisoned, been locked up, and fought for civil rights? And they never got a guarantee they were ever going to see anything better. But then we get in here and we think, you know, oh, we've been doing this for a fucking month. We've been doing this for a year. When does it get better? I mean, maybe it doesn't, and we all have to deal with that fact. And we have to find a way to just put up with the fact that it might not get better at all if we don't do anything. Well, no, fuck, guys. Like I keep telling y'all, I'm just a fry cook. I'm just doing my best to make ends meet every day. And today's gonna be one of those days where I probably don't eat at all just because, you know, my food stamps got cut by the fattest, stupidest fucking president our country's ever had. But it's okay, I didn't deserve food, right? I only work 40 to 60 hours a week. Like I said, I do take it personally, because fuck anyone that voted for that asshole. You are directly saying, no, if you work your ass off, you don't deserve to eat. You should only get to eat if you work the amount of hours I say that is the right amount of hours. I don't believe in that. I think everyone should just get food. Even if you've done nothing productive, you should still get to fucking eat. But again, big old dumb socialist on this side here thinks that if we just work together we could make it better, and that you should trust your lying eyes, and you should give in to the weakness that is empathy and sympathy. Because one day, Bubba, you might need empathy and or sympathy. And if you're preaching nobody should give in, well then who the fuck should care when your time is up? Mostly I think we should just devolve and dissolve this idea of a... Can we get rid of the idea that when we die we're all going to super ultra powerful amazing end all be all Disneyland? I mean, can we stop that? I get the idea that death is scary and nobody wants to think about it that fucking much. I get that concept. But it's not really that scary either. I mean, it's literally... I could introduce, and that sounds so dark, but I could introduce all of y'all to death with just a little bit of, you know, go to a hospital, get a procedure done, let them put you under via a sedative. That is death. That is exactly what your death is going to feel like. The only difference, you get to wake up. That's the only difference. We need to be worried more about how we die. I mean, let's be clear, I don't want to die in a damn automotive accident or a fire. I don't want to be pinned down somewhere and just slowly die of exposure. I'd like to go quick and ideally fairly painlessly. But, I mean, focusing on the death is missing out on most of the journey. Also, the main reason I'm against the idea of the heaven myth is just that. I find that people ignore the problems and things that we could change and make better here because they're waiting for a better there. And what if there is no... Ooh, pretty. And what if there is no there, you know? What if we're just wasting time and hurting ourselves for nothing? That's very pretty. But alright, y'all. Dawn of the 9th day. No, I don't know. I don't think I have many answers. I don't think I really have any answers, if we're to be honest. I just know that we need something to change. We can't keep going like we are and expect... That's where I got the black dye. And expect anything to get better. Nothing's going to improve if we just let it continue stagnating, you know? A lot of trees. Now the plans to let a few of them grow, but also I need to clear out as much as I can so that sun keeps coming in and taking out the zombies. And more importantly and scary, the skeletons. Mostly all, I just think we should make active strides into being more empathetic towards each other. Empathetic and sympathetic. We need to stop seeing emotion as a friggin' weakness, because it's not. And I mean, I am kind of happy that try-hard culture's coming back. Because I'm sorry, but demure and bullshit is bullshit. Things are challenging. If you think this is easy to do, I recommend you try it. Hell, a lot of you are already trying it and doing this better than I am. That's just the point, you know, this takes effort. Effort is not a bad thing. And yeah, effortless things are also cool to see sometimes. But I give a lot more credit to that fucker, like, okay, for example, Back to the Future. Decent movie. Maybe not the greatest script, it's basically just dude goes back in time to meet his parents. But the backstory behind the movie, the fact that they had to take so many takes because of the main character, the main protagonist, Marty McFly's, and you'll never know it. Watch the video. You will not catch the fact that Marty McFly's actor has Parkinson's. I think it's Parkinson's. He gets the uncontrollable tremors, and it's very just... I'm not going to say sad, because I feel like, yes, it's sad. It's a tragedy. The man can't control his body motions. That's fucking sad. But he's not sad. He is inspiring. Does that jive? Does that make sense to folks? Again, I don't want to be misunderstood on this, because I'm not being... what's the term? I'm not being ableist here. But the actor who plays the main character, Marty McFly, having Parkinson's, and then enduring the hours and hours and hours on set that it takes to film that movie, the numerous retakes, the fact that through that entire movie, you'll never know that Marty McFly has Parkinson's, because you never see him twitch or anything else. But now let's go watch the real-world actor in his real-world life, and not judge him for it. And yeah, it's amazing. Jesus Christ, the man can't do much without having to struggle. But that struggle's part of what makes him a hero, sort of thing. Again, I need people to understand, because I'm not trying to mystify him. I think we have a real problem, especially with stories like that one feel-good movie about the neurodivergent kid that came out recently. I think it was called Wonder or something like that. And don't get me wrong, we need to make more movies featuring neurodivergent people, neurodivergent kids. We need to make more movies featuring disabled people of all walks and strides. But the reason why is simple. It's because there's nothing magical or mystical about them. You can't catch it. You can't. They are people. And I think the fact that our head of the CDC, the growing fucking tumor that is fucking JFK Jr., or RFK Jr., whatever the fucking speaking spell's name is, it's just, with him up there, we're gonna find the cause of autism because they can't even use the bathroom. Fuck them. Fuck you and fuck anyone that thinks like you, you rich nepo baby piece of fucking shit. I genuinely hope you fucking... Nope, can't do that, can't say that. Little spicy. Let me air off here for a minute. But, I'm just saying, it's... You know, we wouldn't be in this world with that hateful piece of shit if we had made less movies like Wonder. And I don't know, I can't think of a good piece of autistic representation. That's kind of my bitch right now. Because most autistic movies they piss me off because it's always the same. Oh my God, isn't this kid just so inspiring because he has this horrible disability? But look how happy he is. Even though you see that his parents seem to want to kill themselves because they're so goddamn depressed. And his dad's slowly going in. But look how happy he is. Oh, and they had a carefree moment. Oh, they had a carefree moment with uplifting music. No, fuck you. Let's show the real story. Let's show how many times that kid teaches the parents a lesson. Let's show how many times the parents were in the wrong. I'm just saying, let's stop making autistic people our fucking crutch and start showing them as what they are. People. Just people. Yeah, they've got issues, so do we. And they're not... see, it's hard to say, because yes, they are another... they're another type person, I guess. They're a different class of people. But they're not a lesser or better class. They're just people. And I think we should stand hard on that fact. Because quite frankly, otherwise you end up with people like our current fucking CDC member who thinks we need to eliminate autism. Or people like my dipshit cousin who said that he would euthanize his child if his child was born autistic. And I can't tell you how horrifying and disgusting I find that to be. Because it's horrifying and fucking disgusting. What do you mean? Well, you know, it feels awkward. Why? I would hope that if they were your kid, you would love them even if they were autistic. I would hope if they were your kid, you would love them even if they didn't look, you know, pretty. Like I said, these are very much the type of Donald Trumpers. Well, look at my daughter. Look how beautiful my daughter is. Yep, I'd bang my daughter if she wasn't my daughter. It's like, dude, that's fucking gross as shit. That's disgusting and very troubling. And honestly, if, again, in your mind, is that a compliment? All that would say is if my parents told me that, I would say, well, damn, I'm glad I was born ugly enough that my dad didn't decide to molest me. I mean, that's what that comes off as is, oh, well, you know, Melania, if she were just a little bit prettier, I'd have had to have committed a fucking unspeakable crime against her, you know, scarred her for life. Whew, I'm glad she was only that pretty and not just a little bit prettier. I mean, that maybe I'm sick in the head, but that's what I hear when I hear that shit. It's disgusting. And it's weird that so many people are just cool with it. I mean, for the record, I feel the same way whenever anyone tries to, oh, look at that attractive baby. Oh my, you got an attractive baby. They'll be beating them off with a stick, they will. Hey, could you not sexualize my baby, please? It's a baby. Again, it's a weird societal thing we have, and it is definitely a straight thing, I feel, because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just haven't been in that type of circle of gay folks, but I've never met the gay man or woman who, oh yeah, your baby's a snack. Look at that. No, I've never known that. They'll be, oh, what a cute baby, stuff like that. But they don't sexualize them the way the straights do. Because it's a weird thing the straights do. Like I said, I don't understand the cultural side. And I would love to understand the cultural side better. But I just don't think I'm ever going to get that opportunity because, you know, I tend to speak my mind, and when you do that, you tend to piss people off a lot. But, you know, that's just how it be. Did I do the thing? Did I become the leftist Joe Rogan yet? Can I get showered with billions of dollars on Spotify money, followed by my inevitable downfall? Because with billions, if I don't invest it in helping others in my community, I'm going to become a shitty person. Because money's like an infection. Oh no, and I do feel that one. That one I'll 10 toes down on. I hear rich fucks say it all the time. Well, if you're a good person without money, you'll be a good person with money. No, you won't. There is not a good person with money out there, and I will stand on that. Try to prove me wrong. Go ahead, try. I'm waiting. I say as if any of y'all can respond. I don't have 50 viewers yet, chat. I would love to have y'all so we could have this actual conversation. But no, it's even the rich ones like the billionaire who owns whatever. I have trouble picking out exact representation. But there's one that, like, for example, I want to say it's... I don't want to defame anyone, so if I'm wrong, I'm off base here. But, like, the dude that owns Arizona Tea, I've heard, he came out with the, well, maybe tariffs shouldn't be so bad. Maybe we shouldn't have worker protection. Because, I mean, if we have worker protections, then I won't be able to supply work the way I do now. Yeah, but you see, if you can't supply safe work, you shouldn't be supplying work. You're only benefiting yourself if all you're supplying is unsafe work. Like I said, I think it's stupid to have this whole, well, they're captains of industry, they're providing jobs. No. The market is providing jobs. Those jobs will be... Oops, my alarm's going off. It's 4:30 here. Those jobs will be made, regardless of if you're making them, I'm making them, or the autonomous AI machine is making them. At the end of the day, somebody's got to cook the food, somebody's got to clean the stuff, somebody's got to till the field and plant. At the end of the day, it will get done. It's just, you know... You exploit your workers so they're so burnt out they wouldn't want to do it just for funsies on their day off. And whenever someone says, oh, well, where are all the worker co-ops? I've been known to say this thing. I'm that dumb bitch too. But it's like, well, let's see. Where are most people at? Back in the day, you would work 6 hours. A 9-hour day was considered a long day. And then you would come home to your little 2-bedroom shotgun house. And that was the way, unless you were a minority, in which case you went home to a shittier living condition, but still that version. And you would work in your community. Again, why do you think most of the communities are minority communities? Because they don't have a fucking choice. If you try to stand on your own as a minority, you will die. Because the system's not going to give you a free lunch like it will just a random white fucker. And that's the thing, is... That's part of why the system's broken and needs to be fixed. Part of why wealth inequality is a feature, not a bug. And why, again, I say we need to fix it to where it isn't this way. Because it could be fixed. It's all just made up bullshit. We make it up. We could unmake it. I mean, like my U.S. history teacher said when I was in high school, and clearly it made an impression because it stuck with me like it did. But, I mean, you want gas to drop? You want to know why gas dropped so low during COVID? Guess what? It wasn't because of Joseph Robinette Biden, and it wasn't because of Donald T. Trump. It was because nobody was driving anywhere. Supply and demand, basic shit. So if we, the consumers, all got together as, say, a class of people, the downtrodden, and said, you know what, we're going to make decisions now, as a collective, as a unit. And we all just decided, hey, since Walmart is bleeding our system by basically having their workers so exploited that they're helping them apply for food stamps rather than paying them a living wage, maybe let's all collectively just refuse and trade and work amongst ourselves so we never go back to Walmart. And then watch the company collapse and move on to the next thing we take a targeted affront to. I mean, it'd be wonderful. Here's the reason why that won't work out right now. Because for every one of us that's sitting there, yeah, fuck them, let's do it, hardcore, class solidarity, you have another person that, well, I'm with the class solidarity, but I'm just going to get myself this one little treat that no one's going to notice. That'll be fine. Or nobody will notice the one little treat. And then you realize, oh yeah, but then everyone's just getting their little treats. It's sort of like how, ironically of all things, the Republicans were the ones who called for class solidarity. When did that happen? Well, don't you all remember Trump's speech? Your daughter might not be able to get 30 dolls this year. She might just have to get 4 or 5 dolls. Or just 1 or 2 dolls. He's talking about belt tightening. He's talking about having to downsize the economy and taking that one on the chin for better times down the road. Y'all are just stupid and didn't catch it, I guess. Because no, for the record, capitalism, it's all about, fuck your daughter, my daughter's getting a half a dozen toys. Oh, you say she can't? Fuck you, I'm going to make sure you can't give your kid those dolls so my daughter can have those dolls. That's the competition, folks. Capitalism isn't a collective. It isn't we're all in it to win. It's fuck you, I got my bag, where's yours? I'll share my bag with you on the promise that I get 10% of your bag when you get your bag. And then, of course, the ever-present church saying, well, you need to give us 10% of your tithe, otherwise you're going to go to hell and you'll spend all of eternity in hell and in torment because you were a greedy asshole. And they say that until the rich people show up, in which case it's a, oh, but then God forgave it all because God forgives. That they always have fire and brimstone for the poor, but they never bring up how you gonna pass that camel through the eye. I'm much more of the, hey, God would probably forgive the poor fucker for doing something unspeakable before he'd forgive the rich fucker. But then again, in a world of poor and rich, why did God make it that way? Well, don't you see, he's rewarding the rich folks. Their family just gets put in a position where they can rape and exploit the system better because God wants them to be there. I mean, this feels like straw manning, right? This is why I need somebody who actually thinks that these rich fucks are people. Because I don't view them as people personally. I don't. If I could change the rules today and global warming would only affect the country clubs, I would do that. If I could make it to where today every starving Ethiopian and West African and Mississippian child across the states, if I could change that out and instead they get a full belly and the rich people be eating their filet mignon and suddenly wondering why they're starving to death, coolsies, I'm cool with that. I don't care. But it's simply put because I realize this is our one go at it. And I have a lot more sympathy for the person whose one go at it is full of Walmart brand garbage, not being able to get your clothing washed, and not having clean water to drink nor good food to eat. I feel a lot more pity towards that one shot than I do the rich fuck with 19 cars, 3 Bugattis, and has raped about half a dozen young girls before their time starts. You feel me there? It's like I don't understand you people. I don't understand anyone who thinks that the Tate brothers are, well, maybe we should just give them another chance. Maybe they're not as bad as all that. No, they're that and so much worse. But these are the same fucks who, well, that man slept with another man, we need to kill him. God's very clear on this. Yeah, well, God's also clear on mixed fabric. God's also very clear on shellfish. God's also very clear on enter your non-favorite fucking topic, you goddamn cunts. What do you mean? But then again, and I keep saying it, eventually I'll do it when I get this stuff behind me, I'm eventually gonna just sit down and do what all you Bible thumpers beg me to do and read it. And I promise you're gonna hate it, because I'm gonna get a Bible, and we're gonna read it right here. We might do a chapter a day. We're not sure how we're going to break it down. I'm not even going to make fun of it that much. It's just going to be me reading it and then pointing out a chapter where it goes really off the rails, like how, you know, how in the story of the concubine and the rapists, the poor woman gets raped, beaten, brutalized, left for dead on her master's doorstep, and your just and loving God decided to then have the poor woman be executed. She was raped to death. She was already executed. But then have the poor victim's body basically taken apart and sent to the 12 tribes of Israel to be reminded of how evil these rapist people are. I mean, God, you could have always prevented the woman being raped. You have that ability. Well, free will! I mean, yeah, but I would say your God's a free will monster if he's allowing that. Because let's be clear, I'm very big on letting people do what they want. I'm a god-dang freedom person. I love freedom. That being said, if your idea of freedom is, well, I just really want to roofie that college chick there, okay, well, you got a shitty idea of freedom. You don't get your idea of freedom. Fuck you. Not a hard line in the sand to take. Your freedom gets to go as far as the person in front of you's freedom extends. That's it. I mean, I get so lost in the sauce with these people is all. Because again, it'd be different if they were just live and let live, I love freedom, freedom, freedom. But they're the same ones that, oh, well, that gay man, or that lesbian couple, they're grooming the children. Oh, that politician who slept with all those children, don't worry about that. I'm worried about that one. It's, what the fuck do you mean? I mean, we basically have a church full of pedophiles where pedophilia is okay. We just bounce you to a different church. And the entire world held its breath while the pedophile church picked a new leader. But wait, Christians, don't be snickering, Baptists. You're just as bad. It's like, again, if you go into any prison across the U.S., and I say the U.S. because that's where I'm at, and you talk to them, you won't find many atheists. You'll find a ton of Muslims and Christians, though. Why is that, you wonder? But I'm done banging the anti-religious drum. Let's swap to a different game, shall we? Or maybe we take a short break and come back to it when I'm a little less zesty, a little less spicy. Can I help you, happy sir? Look at that little face. You're just a happy little dude in a boat. Well, a part of me wants to push him close to shore so I know he can get off, but another part of me is like, well, he's safe here. Screw it. We'll leave him in the boat. He can get out the boat. I mostly use the boats as traps for zombies and skeletons. Because they'll get in the boat and then they'll just sit in the boat while they cook in the sun. Maybe I'm a little bit psychotic too, who knows. But nah, y'all, it's just, you know, I feel like we could and should do much better than we are. I feel like we kind of got to, because we are definitely running out of time with, you know, everything. Also, can we stop with the low-hanging fruit that is Idiocracy? I mean, I do realize it is very poignant, but it's not an exact 1v1. Well, for one, as a fast food worker, I can tell you we do not have self-service machines. They have them in Japan. We do not have them in America. Why don't we have them in America? Because you Americans would not be able to fucking utilize them. Seriously, y'all would be having damn riots on day one. And that's assuming the machines lasted and didn't just get vandalized and broke to shit and back. Because again, we're Americans. We can't have nice things. And I am convinced if we had the Idiocracy-style fast food machine, if you set it up on Cartersville Main Street, what would end up happening is the day that the cops didn't sit on that machine to watch it, day one it'd get Sharpied, day two spray painted, day three somebody had bust one of the side panels trying to figure out how to get to the stove on it, day four somebody would try to figure out how to hack it to get food out of it. Pending they couldn't figure out how to hack it to get food, by the end of the week they would have that fucker wired up to set itself on fire. It's the only way robotic systems like that work is in places where people love the system or respect it enough to want it to keep going. When you just have what we have here, which is everybody wants to make their bag so nobody has to work that hard anymore, you don't get that system. Nobody's going to take care of it. But I mean, hell, if you want to fix America, I'd say the first thing to do would be make at least 10 to 15 years free therapy for everyone. That's 10 to 15 years starting right now. Therapists are all now drafted into the U.S. military, since that's the only way we can fund things in the U.S. And every therapist that's now been drafted into the U.S. military has one fucking job. Collect your basic therapist paycheck and go talk to people. If you find a person already got a therapist, cool, bounce to the next. Everyone, and I do mean everyone, needs therapy in this shitty fucking country. Like I said, you want to do it with the military? We can do it with the military. We just need to revamp the military from being arms dealing and drug dealing and wet military fucking pipe work and swap it over to being humanitarian aid and helping and doing good. Because again, and it's strange enough, but if you have a system where you take care of your people, you got more people willing to take care of the system. Hell, the only reason the restaurant I work at is still standing, it's because of my main boss. The secondary boss is cool and all, but it's because of my main boss that that restaurant is still standing. Mostly because, do you know how many times I've put fires out? And I don't mean that as in, oh, the girls are fighting. I mean as in literally, flat top caught fire and I was the only person in the kitchen at the time because everyone had stepped outside for a cigarette break. And I don't smoke. So I grabbed the fire extinguisher, put out the grease fire underneath the flat top, cleaned off the flat top, and got back to work after explaining to the boss what happened. Maintenance still has not repaired the face of the flat top, even though it has caught fire 3 times. The reason I put up with this, and the maintenance who just don't care, because I got a boss that actually does seem to care, and I care about her. But as I've said numerous times, the day that boss quits, I stop caring completely at that point. At that point, if the flat top catches fire, I didn't see shit, I just walked the fuck away. Well, it's because I live in a state that is Georgia that, hell, if you want to make workers better here, get rid of the right to work nonsense. Make it to where you have to have a reason to fire a person. Because technically, and yes, the bosses will still say, well, we can't fire anyone for nothing. Yeah, the fuck you can. Yeah, the fuck you can. You can straight up just write down they were fired for insubordination. That's all. Give 3 cases of insubordination. For the record, insubordination is directly defying an order or indirectly defying an order. You didn't do this right. You didn't teach me right. Yes, I did. Defiance. 1, 2, 3, you're fired. I mean, hell, I've seen people get let go just because they were a lefty and a fucking right-winger took over the kitchen. It seems stupid, but that's the way it is. And in a right-to-work state, just that. You have the right to quit your job at any given time without notice, and the boss has the right to fire you at any given time without notice. Now, yes, technically, they can't fire you for... Okay, for example, I have a... doxing myself a bit. I have a Luciferian seal on my right arm. Right on the main forearm at that. If you recognize Luciferian seal and you say, oh, he was a Satanist, let's fire him. You can't fire me for being a Satanist. You can't fire me for being a former Satanist. But you can just say, oh, I didn't see him wash his hands this time and he refused to go back. Insubordination, failure to wash hands, that's 2 strikes, you're fired. I mean, I'm done. I can't claim that nothing against that. But on top of that, you don't even have to give a reason. You can just say, I didn't want to deal with him, so I fired him. Now, if you say, I didn't want to deal with the rainbow gay man, then yeah, that was discrimination. You can't fire him for that. I didn't want to work with the woman bleeding everywhere. Discrimination. You can't do that. That's sexist. I didn't want to work with that woman. Sexist. Well, I just didn't want to work with her, so I fired her. You can't get onto them for that. That's how a right-to-work state unfortunately works. It's why they're stupid and only idiots are for that. Idiots in big business capital. Because, and again, otherwise they have to give a reason to fire you, and it has to be a good one. Because let's be clear, if you cussed out one of the customers, while I find that goddamn hilarious, you still can't get away with that. That's not cool, man. You know, it's... certain things should be punishable by termination or whatever. But there's a whole lot that just shouldn't be. And right-to-work states are just kind of shitty, you know? I hate them. They're anti-American. But y'all, we've made it to day 11. Still got plenty to mine out in here. Hell, I've barely got this base started. Oh, and we got shears. I think the next thing we should do is go on a big long mission to try to find a sheep the next time around. Because once I can get a bed, well then these days are going to start flying by. The other side is just that. We need to start making up some markers, even if they're just fence posts, and start mapping a bit. But either way, for now, we'll call this Dunzo for now. And I think this is just going to eventually end up being our building, because I'd like to build a little house or a little temple, but I kind of dig this how it's going. Y'all be good, endure and survive where you can, and we'll probably be doing Saints Row next after a quick coffee, maybe a small donut breakfast. I don't know. Depends on what I can scrounge up out of the cabinets. I did still get some honey bun donuts last time. Well, that's the thing. I don't want pity, and it's not about the pity, but it is about the whole, you know, class solidarity. We should all be together on these topics. I mean, shit. There's a day I long to see in this country. The day when every worker unites hand in hand and tells that capitalist fat cat to go fuck themselves. When we all stand together in unity against the corporations. When war is seen as the idiocy that it is. But The day will come eventually, or I'll die wanting like so many before me. Either way, y'all have a wonderful day, and we will see you here in a bit. Bye for now.